One. Hey, hey, what's going on? I hope you're having an awesome day. Much love to you and your friends and your family. Trav here. I hope I can make your day a little bit better by sharing some energy with you and sharing some cool ideas that help me and you understand each other better. Maybe help you and I understand the world better as well. We're playing with the Ninja Bear Delver deck today, and we're going to have a discussion on philosophical lenses, how people view the world, and how I view the world. And yeah, also, just so you know, I'm struggling with perfectionism today. Feel like things have to be perfect, but I know that we just need to do it. So we're gonna jump into the match, and I'll talk you through how I see things. And before we get into that, I just want to say that I think that this is really important. And if I die tomorrow, basically, I'd like to be remembered for just a couple things, which would be perhaps rethinking stairs and perhaps philosophical lenses. I think that it's one of the more important things that I've done, which is one of the reasons why I'm kind of struggling with perfectionism in this video, because I want to be able to communicate this in a way that makes sense. Also, I know that, hey, some of you are just here for magic. If you're interested in the deck tech, we have that as well, and you should check it out. But we're gonna talk about we're gonna play magic, and we're gonna talk about philosophical lenses. So first, let's take a look at this. I've drawn this up for you as we wait for this match to start. This isn't so much philosophy, it's more lens, perceptual lens. Goal, understand humanity. And by the way, there's a full video of this on my Travis Wu channel if you want to check that out. If you're not yet subbed on that channel, there is a full video dedicated to this. But basically, we have descriptivism versus prescriptivism. We can start off by defining that as we wait for this match to start. Descriptivism is trying to describe things. Prescriptivism is trying to say how things should be. So, for instance, when it comes to linguistics, prescriptivism would say the kids these days can't spell, or their grammar is bad. Descriptivists would say that the language has changed, and prescriptivists would say you should not do this because it's bad, and descriptivists would say people do this for this reason. Descriptivism uses if-then language, and prescriptivism uses good-bad. Descriptive, if-then, prescriptive, good-bad. Objectivism is very interested in the one truth, that things are a way regardless of perception. Subjectivism is not necessarily against that things are a certain way. As again, we're still waiting here. We might as well go into this. Things are a certain way, but it's not, if we want to understand the world, understand human behavior at a micro, individual, and macro societal level, then it's more useful to study subjective, perceptual reality, situational truth, subjective truth. Like, it's whereas objectivism would look at a conflict and see one side is perhaps right and one side is wrong, the other would try to hold all the perspectives, all two, three, four at one time, and see as we're still waiting here. So this is well timed. I think it's we're getting a message from above, perhaps. Not, you can decide what I actually believe on that matter. But subjectivism is more trying to understand or put power to the individual truths. Like, the Earth has orbited the sun for what, 4 billion years, but if humans didn't know that for 100 to 200,000 years, then it might as well not have. Not that it didn't, but we're interested in the origin stories that people told. What's going on? I think this is like faded. Ninja Bear Delver. There we are, yeah. So let's play this game, and then we can talk about an example, and we can go around and look at the different combinations. And again, I think this will really help you understand me. We're gonna mulligan that because we're on the play and we have no ones. This hand, I'm not gonna mulligan. It's really not very good. Some of you have asked, what is the good matchup? What is the bad matchup with this deck? We sit down here. Can you sit down with no hands easily? It's not necessarily easy for me. I can do it. Um, the good matchups are control and combo, especially combo. The bad matchups are aggro. It's really hard to beat a wild Nikotl, which we might be facing right now. Wild Nikotl is nearly unbeatable. A Kurt Ape is hard to beat. Damn it. Swift Spear. Okay, can be tough, but can be beatable as well. I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna counter that. We have barely any cards left, but that thing is gonna be a beating. It's gonna give us a pounding. Maybe if we can prevent the opponent's one damage source, we'll be able to win. Maybe. I don't really like our chances either way, as we get absolutely demolished here. Back to the lenses. So, for instance, objective prescriptive is telling people what to do. Here's what you should do. This is what you should do. Subjective prescriptive is telling you what to believe. Like this is the correct belief system, right? Or this is how you should. These are the moral rules, right? Whereas descriptive objectivism is trying to describe how things are. Like these are the way things are. For instance, this whole lens thing is it's not well just so but descriptive subjectivism is applied to humanity. Like what do people believe? This whole chart is a manifestation of descriptive subjectivism. Do you have any questions about that that I can better explain, make it easier? Perhaps I should have tried to trade Snapcaster Mage for that, but I really didn't want to. So, for instance, let's take a look at how these different lenses can be applied to reach the same conclusions about what sort of society we'd like to live in. And again, I really like descriptive subjectivism because it yields a great understanding of human behavior, again, at the individual level and at the societal level, and it allows us to be more empathetic and more understanding. When we are objectivists, we tend to think that people are stupid, people are dumb, people are crazy, they just don't get it. And when we're prescriptivists, we tend to think a lot of people are good and bad and make moral statements. Descriptive subjectivist is the best at just actually figuring out what the fuck people think because it respects perceptual reality and wants to understand it instead of saying like all these people are dumb because they believe the wrong thing, all these people are bad, evil because they believe the wrong thing. So obviously, there's some pros and cons to that. Like you could say that descriptivism is amoral, which it is. It's not necessarily interested in objective good and bad. It is interested in subjective good and bad, if that makes sense. Like what people believe is good and bad is going to will give a better understanding of things. Now, so let's use an example of this as we're playing here. Okay. Let's go ahead. Actually, we can Snapcaster Disrupting Shoal that, and otherwise we're not getting any value from this. We're still down like 5 fucking cards. We have tons of islands. So um, for instance, on the subject of killing in society, right? Here's a touchy thing. A prescriptive objectivist would say, do not kill because it is bad, and it's bad because humans have value. Human lives are precious. Therefore, it's bad to kill, and we want to live in a society that doesn't allow killing. Now, subjective prescriptivist would add some situational to that, like, okay, well, you should be able to defend yourself because an aggressive killer is bad, so you should be able to defend yourself against that. It's good to do that, right? And then we could say how a descriptive objectivist, when it comes to that subject, would say people, a society that basically uh, would be like a society that allows unlimited killing would be unstable and would I'm going to concede this game, would disincentivize innovation and entrepreneurship, and therefore a more stable society, a society that restricts killing, is more stable, has more innovation, has more societal progress, individuals prefer it, and therefore I would prefer to live in a society that has laws against that. Although a descriptivist, subjectivist would say on this that would say the same thing, but add to that um, people are going to individuals on the micro level are going to defend themselves, and on the macro level, it's good for society because if a society cannot defend itself and its individuals, the society and the individuals will cease to exist. So up here is all like if then, down here is all good, bad, over here is all right, wrong, and over here is just perception. So if you didn't figure it out, I'm really up here, but I can see through these other lenses. I just think that if my goal is to understand things, then this is where I'm going to be. If my goal is like to make things better, then I would maybe be down here, and there's a lot of people. We also see scientists tend to be descriptivists, and say religious or moral or political authorities tend to be prescriptivists, and scientists also tend to be objectivists. Hard science, and soft science tends to be more subjectivist. So let me know what you think on that. I think that that is one of the more important things I've done. Not that I'm like self-inflated that I've done such important things, but more like if I had to rank all the things, all the thoughts that I've had, that's probably one of the more useful. That's probably one of the more useful things. So I don't love Vapor Snag. I don't like Disrupting Shoal that much either. I'm bringing in Threads. Maybe I don't really like Shackles. I'm gonna cut some snags. They're just not very good here because they're only bouncing one drops. And I'm gonna leave in the shoals because hey, we are on the draw. Just a horrible, horrible matchup. All right, I'm gonna keep this. We've got a chance at a turn 2 Ninja. I'm gonna start off with the G probe and see what we think. Or see what we see. Let's see what we see. I want to know what you think about that. Leave some comments. Oh, there's a Swift Spear and a Bolt. Yeah, this is like the worst matchup, really. People ask, what are your good bad matchups? Anything like this is bad. Aggro sucks generally. Not it depends on the aggro. Like straight burn, mono red can be okay. Affinity can be okay. If they have I mean, you can beat Goyfs out of Jund, but if they have like one drop creatures that are big, it is very difficult for this deck to win. Although I think that our draws have not been great either. They haven't been especially bad, but they have not been great. And ship the turn. Shout out to TEDx Humboldt. If I get to do a third TEDx, I think it would be on. It would probably be on this. It would be on perceptual. The opponent does have another land. It would be on perceptual reality. Hope you find that useful. Again, there's going to be a full version on my Travis Wu channel. Check that out if you're not over there. If you're here, I also want to thank the patrons. I want to thank you all patrons for your help and support. If you are not yet a patron and you're considering it, there's a link to that in the description, and I added in a new welcome video and a new thank you video, so you should consider checking that out. You don't have to, but if you get a huge kick out of this channel, you watch every video, or a few videos really help you, then you can give back in a small way. Okay. So much for doing anything. I'm gonna sit on the. Actually, I'm gonna cast the probe, and then we're gonna remand. Remand something. So there's a snag, a goif, a bolt, a become immense. Oh, did I pay 2 life? I did not mean to do that. Ow. I probably clicked on my face, but I didn't mean to. I didn't. I was. My hands took over my brain there. Sometimes my mouth takes over my brain too. Also, you want more philosophy and stuff like that? Follow me on Travis Wu, Travis D Wu on Snapchat. Those of you who check in, or some of you have been following me for years. Some of you have been following me for nearly a decade. Some of you have been following for not so long. But you know that I am really interested in learning, and my subject of interest changes very frequently. You know, it'll be on one skill one week, and it will be on health the next week, and it'll be on scientific studies the next week, and then the next week it will be on, you know, history or perception, or then philosophy, and then back to gaming, and then I just, that's one of the reasons why the channel should be called Travis Wizard and not Magic for Good, is because I'm a thought explorer, and I can't do just one thing, like just magic, right? I am a So we could remand that. I don't really feel like that's gonna help us. Although I'm kind of ready to just die, really. I'm a variety. I'm a creature that loves variety. So I hope you found this video enjoyable, and thank you for those of you who support me in whatever way you do support me. How can we win this game? We can cryptic command to bounce something. By the way, how's the audio? Is the wind causing a problem? Let me know. Also, where would you say that you fall on this? I'm interested. That should be my question. Where do you fall on that? Where do you fall? Hmm. So we can like kind of try to stabilize so many remands. Should have maybe played them. Basically, I've paid 4 life and done nothing this game. Not a good matchup, but we've had abysmal draws. Shout out to my buddy my college roommate Abil. Abysmal. Hmm. Other things on my mind. That's really the one thing I've been trying to figure that shit out for a while, and the best way for me to learn is to like draw a matrix, or is that what you call it, a graph? You could call it a matrix. All right, we're at 2. I'm ready to die. End of turn. Return target permanent. Draw a card. And we drew a Snapcaster Mage, which is kind of cool. Ship the turn. Begin our long comeback. We can Snapcaster, or we can Disrupting Shoal, the 1-drop, and then Remand, the 2-drop, and then we can Snap Cryptic. The main issue is just going to be burn if the opponent has another bolt, or basically anything that does anything. Basically anything that does anything will be a problem. Hopefully the opponent is just stuck on a land here, does not have another one. Remand your Goyf. Are we dead yet? Seal of fire, we are dead. Hmm. There might have been a way to come back. Oh, actually, if we had had two more life, I had not misclicked on the Gataxian probe. I think maybe we could have won this if we had two more life. We come back and then we can cryptic with a Delver. The opponent is only at 11 here. And so here's a difference in philosophy for how this game went. Here's an example. I could say that a descriptivist, subjectivist, or basically a descriptivist would say that if I had not paid 2 life, then I likely would have won. We might have won, but I learned more this way. And an objective prescriptivist would say that I just fucked up, basically, and that I shouldn't have done that because that was a bad play. But I'm more up here because there's a lot of more. I find it to be more three-dimensional and entertaining to understand, like just be more just describing. If that had happened, if I had done that, then this would have happened. But because I did this, then this happened instead. Not like I should have. Nah, oh well. That was a good match, and I hope you enjoyed that philosophical discussion. I want to know what you believe. Again, I hope that you and I better understand each other now. I hope that you and I better understand each other. And as of right now, I think that this is, again, one of the my more important contributions to things in general, humanity. Not that I've made massive contribution to humanity, but if I had to rank the things that I have done, I think that this is one of the more important. So again, if I have an unexpected death, please share this idea. And love you. Thank you so much. Thanks once again to the patrons. If you're not yet a patron and you're considering putting on some new milestones, we'll do a patron hangout when we hit 500, and that will be awesome. So very excited. Thank you all so much. Love you, and see you in the comments and on Snapchat and on Patreon. Take care, y'all.